Axman ended up with 7 touches. It was a quiet start to the quarter for Karen, but she finished strong.
She did. She's got Grace Egan running with her, and they're starting this second term in that same matchup.
Second spot up for grabs in Conference B. The D's lead by 8 points as we start the second term. Gay against Pressparkas, who gives it up. Paxman dribbles it towards half forward. Lalawifi got there first, left it behind. Chance for McAvoy. Nice pick up. Lalawifi stuck to the task. Free kick, taken high. It's coming back to Neve McAvoy. Her 6th touch. It's getting better by the week. High kick inside 50. Cunningham tries to get to the front. It was a 2-on-1. Wilson engaged Cunningham. Cunningham wanting a free kick. Pressparkas took the uncontested grab.
And that's what defenders have been so good at doing against Cunningham, is not letting her fly for that ball, because when she extends those very long arms, it's very hard to compete with her in the air.
Rosali, just her 2nd touch. Needs to get busy for the Blues. Maddie Gay tries to squeeze it down the line, but puts it out of bounds on the full. Maddie Gay, the former Blue. Played 7 games for Carlton back in 2018. That kick flirts with the line as well. It's going to come back. So Harriet Cordner has the football. Across the wing. Scott against Pressparkas, who's so strong in the air for someone of her size. Wants a free kick for being thrown out of the contest. Harrington's back and taken high by McAvoy. She'll get a free kick. Good to see the Carlton co-captain back. Some anxious moments in that first term. Harrington goes towards Harris with strong hands, beats 2 in the air. She'll want to wheel and go. Brings it inboard, dangerous kick. Hosking's got to go one-on-one against Sheriff. They'll turn. Numbers arrive here for the D's. Mithen coming in the other direction. Pound in there to support. Throws it on the boot. Gets it inside 50. Coming out to attack it was Goldrick. Vesio at the back versus Goldrick, who gets there first. Vesio lays the tackle. Gives it off to Birch. Birch will chip it wide. Nicely weighted kick finds Mithen. Mithen will come inboard. Lunging effort from Gay. Great mark. Run from behind comes from Goldrick. Flips a little handball over the top. Links up with McAvoy. Back to Goldrick. Floats a kick to 50. Cunningham playing in front against Wilson. Ball hits the deck. Cunningham in best position. She's gang tackled. Ball not coming out. Tegan Cunningham getting plenty of attention from Charlotte Wilson. Quick restart. Zanka tries to slap it forward for Hanks to run onto. Here's Brazali. Paddles to her own advantage. Soccer's off the ground. Taken by Emerson. Pressparkas goes to ground. Brazali comes into support. Spins through the Hanks tackle. Got the hands free. Egan in one direction. Pierce the other. The youngster and the veteran go at it. Socket off the ground by Zanka. Coming through was Brazali. Paddles along the line. Tried to handball to Stevens. It ricochets back in the Egan direction. She tries to gather. Coming through was Pierce. Quick hands Paxman. Paxman now McAvoy. McAvoy to Hanks. Nice build up from the D's. The kick from Hanks floats a little wide. Throw in.
Karen Paxman now up to 9 disposals, as well as we mentioned, Grace Egan's putting a pretty strong tag on her in this opening half of footy, so she's doing a brilliant job at really breaking that and still staying active in the contest.
Egan with the 3 touches. Paxman and Hoare up to 9 for the D's. Pressparkas has had 8 for Carlton. Zanka's tapped to the front, nicely read by Dalton, who'll get it and go. Puts it on the boot and goes for distance. Out of space on the wing. The speeds to G will be beaten there by Sheriff, who links up with Lampard. Brings it inboard to Goldrick. A fumble coming in the other direction. Loynes. Goldrick goes down and she's very sore. Dalton a handball over the top to Loynes. Loynes through to Dalton. No room there. Coming hard at her was Sheriff. Umpire calls for it. There's Goldrick. Pulled up really sore after that collision. Looks like a corky. Play restarts. Sheriff having a good first half. Awkward bounce for Harrington. McAvoy tried to slap it to Scott. McAvoy then taken down in a tackle. Slick hands, Harrington. Dalton, little sidestep, gave herself some space. Hosking pokes it forward. It's a 2-on-1. Make it a 3-on-1. The Blues have got numbers at the back now. Here's G. Goes towards Harris, but misses the target. Cordner takes the mark as Goldrick is assisted off. So the D's down a player momentarily. Pearce will attack up the middle. Moody did well, got across in front of O'Day. Moody hits the ground running, scrubs a kick towards 50. It was partly smothered off her boot. Stevens on her left boot, can float it over the top, pops it up for Harris to mark, almost at ground level. Harris versus Cordner, slick hands to G. Great team football from the Blues, and they get their second. Georgia G kicks her 5th for the season. Another one of those big improvers.
She certainly is, Jace, and it doesn't matter where she is on the ground. This player, she has electric speed and electric skills to go with it. So she really is a sensational player for this Carlton side.
Just so clean, Georgia G. Bobs up in the right positions at the right times, as she did there. Classic Corky, wasn't it?
Yes, it looked like she missed Katie Loynes, but just on that inside leg, Corkies hurt, don't they? So she was assisted off the ground, and beautiful kick there by Nick Stevens, and Taylor Harris just did enough to keep that footy in front of her, and then quick hands out the back to Georgia G, who finished truly.
5th goal of the season for Georgia G.
She's slight in stature, isn't she? But she just plays big, does Georgia G.
Lisa O'Day, just the one touch for the D's. This is Paxman coming up for her 10th. Beautiful kick across the body. McAvoy couldn't quite claim it. Now she's under pressure from Harrington, who's sweating on her. Lucy McAvoy yet to have a touch for the Blues. There is Sinead Goldrick, just getting that leg worked on. Zanka tried to paddle to O'Day. It was intercepted by Dalton. Loynes will take the contact from Emerson, who takes her down.
Chloe Dalton's been very, very important in this last 5 minutes of play for Carlton. She's got electric speed, but she picks and chooses when to turn it on, and that's what I love about her, is she just works that change of pace so well.
There she is, getting it to pound. An awkward one for Walker, who did well to control it. Now needs to either slap it out or prevent Tarrant from taking it off her. And it'll be a 0-0 draw, and the umpire will throw it up. Zanka against Moody. Nicely read off the hands of the contest by Paxman. Lalawifi in one direction. Takes the contact, dishes to Plain. Dribbles a handball to the feet of Harrington, who gets the hands free, spins through the Newman tackle. Kick out a little bit too much on it for McAvoy. Tidied up by Paxman. Now Gay. She'll go to a one-on-one contest, 30 from goal. Cunningham versus Wilson. Plenty of athleticism in that contest. Cunningham wins the strength battle from deep in the pocket, confronted by Hosking. Taken towards the line. It's still there for Newman. She runs into Lalawifi, who walks her over.
Well, Maddie Gay did the right thing, didn't she? Just to get it in quickly to a one-on-one with Tegan Cunningham and Charlotte Wilson, because that's where Tegan Cunningham is so dangerous. If she gets a number of players back there to really tag team her, then it's hard for her to win that one-on-one ball.
Downey in the ruck. Spills over the back. Loynes immediately tackled by Maddie Gay. So the Blues back within 2 points midway through this second term. Winner really solidifies their spot inside the top 3. The loser back into the pack a little bit and fighting for a final spot. Umpire's calling for it. It's going to be a Melbourne ball. It's coming back to Eden Zanka for a throw. Zanka, one of these youngsters who just continues to improve week by week. She's up to 7 touches tonight. As you mentioned, Abs, in the absence of Lauren Pearce, she's really stepping up to make that ruck spot her own.
She is, and we know how dangerous she is in front of goal, so she really is doing it all around the ground at the moment.
4-3 for the season, makes good contact there. It just flirts with the right post. It's still alive, dangerous spot for Plain to try and tidy up. She soccers off the ground. That's going to be a throw in.
Bounced inside the line, although Kate was appealing for...
I think she's appealing for deliberate, but that'd be a pretty tough call.
Yeah.
It's clearly a shank.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Goldrick just getting that knee seen to. I think she copped the corky just above that left knee. Downey against McAvoy. O'Day hits it at speed. Plain tries to tidy it up. Downey went towards Vesio, slapped inside by Gay. Newman stripped of it, taken by Hall. Jess Hoskins got her in the chicken ring. Got one arm pinned, nowhere to go. Good tackle there from Jess Hosking. Grabbed the one arm. Downey tries to punch it clear in the Edwards direction. Loynes puts the head down, can't quite crash through. McAvoy had the handball stolen by Brooke Walker. Kick only as far as Pearce, setting up behind the football here for the D's. Under 6 minutes remaining in the opening half. Pearce goes short and uses McAvoy. Melbourne dominating in the marking department, 28-12 as they chip it around to maintain possession. Gay hoists it inside 50. Prasparkas in the middle of that pack. Nice crumb from Hanks. Blues with the numbers back. Harrington some time. Lets it bounce. Can now look at her options. Draws Newman. Pops it to Vesio. Vesio manages to get away from Newman. Wants an option. Floats a kick over the top. Brazali tried to make it good. Trying to step through there was Lampard. Brazali. Stevens take her down.
These Carlton forwards are doing a mountain of work in defence, but the issue is when they do get possession, they don't have, I guess, the options down forward. They can't transition quick enough for the ball movement that they're running with.
Yeah, the fluid ball movement for the Blues not quite there so far tonight. Their ability to get it, run hard off half-back and then hit up the likes of Harris and Stevens at half-forward's been a real trademark of their game so far this season.
Because they are getting the turnovers, there's no doubt about that, but then those girls are too far up the ground and they don't have the options looking down.
Downey went to ground and somehow still got the clearance. Prasparkas a little sore after that last contest. She wins the football, gets it to Plain. Plain floats towards half-forward, and this is the connection we're talking about. This time it's Egan versus Birch. Birch to ground. Harris tries to crash through. She's tackled. Good, strong work from the Melbourne defence. It was Cordner and Birch doing the job on Taylor Harris. So can the Blues manufacture something from this stoppage? It's become a real arm wrestle in this second term. Vesio in the ruck against Zanker. O'Day into the path of Hanks. Tries to slip away from Prasparkas. Manages to deliver to Hall. Hall will chip it over the top. Standing and waiting is Parry. Parry gives it off. Run from behind is O'Day. 55 out. Shanks the kick. Harrington couldn't quite take it cleanly. Tries to spin away from Mithen. Gathers the football. Runs into Newman. Can't get the hands free. Rolled in the tackle. Good, strong forward pressure there from Alicia Newman.
See the inside 50 count on screen there. Melbourne by far have the upper hand in that sense, but really haven't been able to capitalise on that in this second.
Scott, lovely tap over the back to Kate Hall. Can she finish? Doesn't need to. Mark taken by Parry right on the line as Gab Pound with an anguished look.
I think Gab Pound was expecting that ball to go over the line, but
so
dropped short. So
Parry, will she go with the banana or will she snap around on the left? She goes with the banana. Doesn't get the angles right. Out of bounds on the full. Playing her third game this evening. 23-year-old from Brighton in Melbourne originally. Went to Canberra for university. Took up footy. Back in Melbourne with the D's. Off the hands of Perkins. Melbourne looking for a late one here to open up another advantage here at half-time. Scott, Mithen. Tries to get it to Paxman. Free kick going to the D's. High contact Melbourne. Pearce wanted to take the advantage. It's going to come back.
It'll come back to Lily Mithen.
Umpire said high contact on Mithen. So Lily Mithen playing game number 23 tonight. Yet to kick a goal. She got within a couple of centimetres last week, Abs.
Oh, she really did.
It was touched right on the line. So is this her moment? She'll give it off. Goes to the lead. Beautiful delivery to Shelley Scott. Good selfless play there from Lily Mithen.
It was a brilliant hit there by Lil. We spoke to her post-game last week where she celebrated a bit prematurely, unfortunately.
It was a good rehearsal for when that moment does happen.
She's going to nail it when she eventually gets that goal.
Shelley Scott turns 32 on Monday. Chance to kick her fourth of the season and re-establish a handy little buffer for the D's as we head for half-time. Deliberate approach. 35 out. Keeps it low and drives it through. Melbourne back out to an 8-point lead with 1:25 on the clock in the second.
Well, it was excellent work by Lily Mithun. She recognised that she potentially didn't have that leg on her, so she hit Shelley Scott up short and finished truly in front of goal. Well, there you have it. Shelley Scott finishes truly. And Melbourne out to an 8-point lead.
That was the quarter-time margin, so the D's have restored it. Dalton committed the body, came crashing in, but stood up by Paxman and O'Day. Nothing much in the contested battle, but certainly the uncontested possession, 70-35 in favour of Melbourne. They're winning it on the outside at the moment. And that's where they're doing the damage. Prasparkas to Dalton. Dalton will poke it forward. Bouncing football, Lampard and Walker coming back. Cordner and Harris coming out to meet it. Cordner puts it into the path of Mithun, who's got a couple of metres on Brazzali. Will concede some territory. Play on the call. Walker will just crash through Cordner. Ball spills out. Brazzali and Lampard. D's have got a 3-on-2. Dalton arrives now. And Brazzali did a pretty good job to make sure that didn't come out. Is the umpire going to read this? Eventually, he's going to call for it. 37 seconds left. Can the Blues get one last shot? Dalton runs into Hanks. Moody and Perkins. Down to Paxman and Egan. Taken by O'Day. Smothered off her boot by Moody. Coming through with Scott. Paxman gives it up. Pound inside 50. Blues need a mark. 20 seconds left on the clock. At ground level. Mithun's hands. Left behind by Hall. Goes back into battle. Walker. They pile in on top of Lampard on the bottom of that pack. And the D's scrambling defence will be rewarded. Lampard taken high. And that'll see off the danger. And Melbourne will take an 8-point lead into the halftime break in the battle for second spot in Conference B. It was a goal apiece in that second term. The Blues striking first through Georgia G before a late goal to Shelley Scott re-establishes the quarter-time margin of 8 points. Melbourne 3-3-21. Carlton 2-1-13. Turned into a real defensive struggle in that second quarter. Melbourne controlling the territory battle. They've had 15 inside 50s to